match, and it is Jovia and Tex. Sir Winston comes up on the outside, and he got in front of War of Will, and Sir Winston has moved to the center of the track under Joel Rosario to take the lead. On the inside, Jovia fights on. Tacitus is there, and then Tex between horses. Master Fencer on the far outside. They're coming to the finish, and Sir Winston has won the Belmont Stakes.
Alright, here we go. I promised this video was coming. I talked about it in the contest announcement video. So, if you have not seen that, by the way, go check that out. We're doing a giveaway for the Travers Stakes. I'll leave a link in the description. But in this video, as you can tell by the title, we're going to be talking about Tacitus heading into the Travers Stakes. Tacitus probably at this point, with the defections of both Maximum Security and Game Winner, two separate reasons. Game Winner came down with a virus. Maximum Security was not 100%, and Jason Service did not want to run him in the Travers Stakes following the performance that he had in the Haskell. But Tacitus is a very interesting story because, you know, the thing that I say about him is he is still a relatively inexperienced and green horse, and that kind of gets him into trouble a little bit. Looking at his past performances, he's done fairly well. He's never been out of the money. And this is just my opinion about his past performances. I'm not sure. A couple of them I think are pretty much undisputable, but I think Tacitus has not performed up to his full capability since the Wood Memorial. And obviously most people agree with me on the Jim Dandy and the Belmont Stakes. I think Tacitus was the best horse in the race in both of those races, but in the Jim Dandy, he stumbled at the start, and on that day at Saratoga, the rail was dead, so he didn't really have a shot to get through. And in the Belmont Stakes, I don't think Tacitus got a very favorable trip. Now, I also think that Tacitus could have run better in the Kentucky Derby. I don't think that Tacitus was the best horse in the Kentucky Derby. Some people think that I'm not in that group of people, but I think that Tacitus could have run a lot better in the Kentucky Derby, and he was fourth, eventually pushed up to third because of the disqualification, but Tacitus could have placed better in that race. At least I think so. So you've got a horse that hasn't run up to his full potential since the Wood Memorial, and if you want to disagree with me, even the Kentucky Derby, that's 2 races in a row where he's been the best horse and still hasn't won the race. So Tacitus, if he finally gets a good trip, is going to be in for a win in the Travers Stakes. And I think that this race in particular, I would say at this point there's no excuse for him not to win this race. Because Belmont Stakes, he had an excuse. Post position, Jim Dandy, there was really no excuse for him to not win the race until he stumbled. And at this point, you know, you can't say he's probably the best horse in the race. You could have a pretty convincing argument between him and Code of Honor. Last time out won the Dwyer Stakes and was second in the Kentucky Derby. But I think you could have a pretty decent debate between those two. But I think Tacitus, also, I want to not forget to mention his pedigree. I've been on Tacitus's pedigree since the Tampa Bay Derby. If you have not heard enough, because I've said enough how good his pedigree is. He's a son of Tappet, and he's out of the Champion Mare Close Hatches. So, 2 very good horses in that pedigree right there. Both of them. Tappet has been siring a bunch of winners for as long as we can remember. And Close Hatches was an Eclipse Award winner. So, 2 very good horses right there. So, I mean, you don't need to tell me, or you don't need me to tell you that Tappet horses are good. I think that speaks for themselves. But this horse, I think, is going to have a lot benefiting him in this race. The defections of Maximum Security and Game Winner definitely are pluses for him. And if he gets a good post position and doesn't go to his face at the start of the race, then he's going to win the Travers Stakes, I think. I think that this horse is a lot better, and it's not that people aren't giving him credit for. I just think that this horse is a lot better than he has shown himself to be. Like I said, he has not run up to his full potential since the Wood Memorial. This is a horse that is still relatively green. He's only got 7 lifetime starts. That seems like a lot, and it is a lot today, but 7 times, a 7-time starter, not as experienced as some of the other horses in this race. I think so, at least. He seems to be a little green. You know, maybe some of the other horses are more experienced in that amount of time or more. Obviously, more time. But in that amount of time, some horses may be more experienced or mature, if we want to go with that route than, say, Tacitus is. But I think that this is a horse with a lot of potential, and he's due for a win in a race like this. So really, that's what I have to say about Tacitus. He is going to be my pick for the Travers Stakes. I have picked him the last 3 times. He has run. Belmont Stakes, Jim Dandy, and now the Travers. I have a lot of confidence in this horse. I've had a lot of confidence in him since he won the Tampa Bay Derby. So we'll see if he finally gets a good trip. I'll see you in the next video when we're going to be covering Code of Honor. Remember that we are doing a giveaway for the Travers Stakes. We're giving away a Support California Racing, but it doesn't say Support California Racing. It just is a Support Horse Racing in general wristband. Go check that out. I'll leave a link to the video, as well as the ways that you can enter the contest if you've already seen it, in the description below. So I will see you guys in the next video.
4-6, and they're into the stretch, and here comes Tex and Tacitus, and the two of them are right together as they come to the 8th pole. Long shot Math Wizard has run a big one. He's third on the outside. Tacitus on the outside. Tex along the rail. Tacitus and Tex locked in battle at the 16th pole. It's Tacitus in front. Tex second on the inside as they come down to the line. Highcall takes third late. It is Tacitus in the Wood Memorial.